I'm Phil Gale. Welcome to the programme. The first grain shipment to sail from Ukraine since the start of Russia's invasion has now left. Turkey, which is overseeing the implementation of the deal between the two countries and the UN, said it was safe to resume exports. The shipment is due to arrive in Istanbul on Tuesday, where it'll be inspected before heading on to Lebanon, just one of many countries desperately in need of grain. Ukraine hopes that today's departure will be the first of many.
The cargo ship Razoni is carrying more than just grain. It's carrying the hopes of Ukrainians and people around the world. It's the first ship loaded with grain to leave Odesa since Russia invaded Ukraine. Some residents of the port city see it as a sign not only of hope, but of progress. On Monday, I heard the ship's whistle for the first time. I was delighted. Finally, life is beginning to move forward, and there are some changes in a positive direction. This makes me very happy. In general, the port should live its own life, because Odesa is a port city. We live here. We want everything to work for us, for everything to bustle. Since the start of the war, Ukrainian farmers have been hard-pressed to get grain out of the country. Ukrainian trains can't move on most EU rails, and trucks take days to get across the border. As harvest season approaches, many silos are already full, and grain stored for long periods of time is at high risk of mould.
We still have 6,000 tons of grain stored here. Where are we supposed to put the wheat when the next harvest starts? It's scary. Any amount of grain could be left on the fields.
But solving the troubles with transport isn't an instant solution for high food prices. Economists say the prices of commodities like wheat, rice and corn are not only dependent on the war, but also weather conditions and the success of the harvest.
The fact that Ukrainian and also Russian commodities are now more easily going onto the world markets is good, but volatility will remain high, and the shortages around the globe are not only caused by the war, but also by climatic conditions.
Cautious optimism is ripe among many farmers, hoping to sell as much of their grain as possible while the negotiated corridor remains open.
We can get more from DW correspondent Birgitta Schulke in Kyiv. Welcome, Birgitta. How are Ukrainian authorities assuring the safety of the ship that left Odesa today?
The main issue with safety was obviously that most of the ports along the Black Sea are mined, especially the Odesa port, in order to prevent them from a possible Russian advancement. So according to the deal, Ukraine over the last days has demined a small portion of the port, and pilot boats have guided the ships through a sort of safe passage through the port. Everything went well for the first ship. It is expected to arrive in Istanbul tomorrow and will then be inspected by a joint group of Russian, Turkish and UN inspectors in order to make sure that it's only grain on the ship, and then the vessel can continue its journey to Lebanon.
And this deal holds for 120 days, I think. How optimistic are authorities in Ukraine that it will hold and that shipments will continue?
Today they praised the first ship leaving the Odesa port as a great breakthrough, because it's obviously very important for the Ukrainian economy. But if you're talking with the people on the street, they are not overly enthusiastic, because one reason might be that it might take sometimes, UN has said, it might be even take weeks until the full capacity of the operation will be reached, the planned 5 million ton of exported grain every month. The second reason is really that many people here think this corridor might be over soon because there might be another attack. They don't trust the Russian claims not to attack those ports, especially after only hours after the grain deal was signed, Russia had attacked the ports. And in addition to that, the heavy attacks on the portal town of Mykolaiv, which is not far from Odesa, are continuing as well. So there's not too much trust here in this agreement and that it will last long.
OK, thank you. Tell us more about those attacks on Mykolaiv.
Mykolaiv has seen huge shelling over the past days, but what is also a very important development in the south, that Ukraine itself is stepping up its attempts to reclaim territory, especially in the Kherson region. We have been seeing attacks on critical Russian infrastructure and warehouses, ammunition depots, in an attempt to cut the Russians from the supply lines. And today we got the message from a local governor claiming that Ukraine was able to retake 46 settlements in the southern Kherson region. We haven't any confirmation on that, but it seems as if the counteroffensive President Zelensky has been talking so long about is gaining momentum. But at the same time, Russia is deploying troops from the eastern to the south to reinforce their positions and to defend the territory they had that had taken some months ago. So I think we will be seeing more intense fighting in the Kherson region on the south front in the next weeks.
OK, thank you for that. We'll go to Shulka in Kyiv.